Let's go to move on to the next guest. We got JD loading up into the live stream because that last guy skedaddled very, 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 very quickly. And then also, real quick here, let's see. Danessa, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal saying it's my birthday, Dean. Happy birthday, Danessa. That is DNESA. Show some love to Danessa down below in that chat. As well as Samantha, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. That is incredibly kind of you. And then Sierra with another 2. Thank you so much. And what's going on, JD? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how old are you?
27.
Great. Let's hop into the debate. I just got one more person to thank. Kasira, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. That is Keseera with the $20 donation. They say, I've learned so much from you. Thank you. No, thank you for your kindness. Everybody show some love to Kasira down below in that comment section for the incredibly kind $20 donation over on that Venmo. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. As well as Weldsman with the $10 over on Super Chat. Now take it away, JD. Why do you support Trump?
He is the lesser of two evils.
Okay. And
Sure.
why is Trump the lesser of two evils?
So if you think about everything that's been happening,
Oh,
culturally,
you got us connected to some type of mic. Turn off your Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah. Let me get you out of here.
Great. He also might be driving because that sounds like a car mic. We'll have to clarify that with him when he's back. In the meantime, are you driving at the moment? No, he's gone again. He's still. Nope.
No, I'm not driving. My wife is ordering Starbucks, and she's in the driver's seat. I'm just in the passenger right now. So if you hear a background noise, it's her. But basically, my point is culturally, we've been dealing with issues that seem not to have been addressed by the previous presidency. Obviously, between the two people running this past presidency, I would argue that one, at least the Democrat Party, became a little bit incoherent with their vision for the country, and Trump is he's obviously a leader, right? He takes initiative, and I think that was lacking for the country. So I think in general, someone in that position, right, not necessarily supporting everything that Trump stands for or what he's done in the past, the type of leadership necessary to run a country was not being shown by the opposite side. So at least in that sense,
Can I have you be more specific of what those qualities were that weren't shown in Kamala Harris that are shown in Trump that makes him the best man, the best man for the job?
Yeah, like
keep the preface on best man for the job, because I feel like that might be what you're getting at here.
Yeah. So like Kamala Harris, I mean, like for example, especially at the border, there was a lot of issues regarding like the entry, who was getting let in. Kamala Harris, wasn't really addressing those issues. I mean, she did visit, but she wasn't able to gain the confidence that she would be able to make any specific moves regarding that issue. It was very vague, her plan.
So now you're just saying like for the border. So he was better for the border, and that's ultimately what makes you support him.
I think that's one of them. Like his decisiveness.
I don't think that Donald Trump has ever had a policy to solve issues at the border in the long term. Never, literally never. I think that he is a short-term president that puts band-aids on bullet wounds, so the issue persists existing, so you could get people to support him around it. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you a question. What is the ultimate root incentive for undocumented entry into this country?
I'm sorry. What is the ultimate root of what?
Root cause of undocumented entry into America?
The root cause? I think they're definitely fleeing from probably their, whatever situation they're in. I believe that there's a hope in America. I believe that
that's going to be the root incentive for immigration as a whole. I'm asking you for the specific root incentive for undocumented entry as a subcategory.
I think undocumented entry, like I don't know what would be. I don't know. Maybe you could answer that for me.
I can. It's going to be just the fact that the legal means of entry into this country are unattainable for so many immigrants. Like, for instance, if you're in Mexico and you don't already have family in America, it could seriously take you 20 to 25 years in order to become a citizen of this country. The legal means are too slow. They take way too long. They cost way too much money, which makes them simply unattainable for so many people that want a higher quality of life. So in other words, the only way to truly fix undocumented entry into this country in the long term is to address that root cause of slow, neglected, and depraved legal means of entry. Now, go ahead and give me an example of Donald Trump standing in front of a microphone on a podium in the last 10 years, even just talking about how he wants to make the legal means of entry into this country more attainable to reduce undocumented entry.
Yeah, I would agree that like the states haven't really haven't really addressed that issue specifically. But I will say that the problems that are caused by the amount of
So
illegal
now you're
entry
pivoting.
points.
Now you're pivoting. My
No,
very
no,
specific question was: has Donald Trump even done as much as stood in front of a podium on a mic and said he wants to make the legal means of entry into this country better, which would fix the ultimate root
no. I
cause
think
for
he's
undocumented
made it.
entry?
I think he's made it harder. I think he's definitely made it harder for people to enter into this country legally.
Okay, so then you're just saying that he's only given more incentive for undocumented entry. So please tell me how a president that is only giving more incentive for undocumented entry into this country is better for the border.
Wait a minute. He's giving. Oh, you're saying that he's giving incentive for undocumented entry, but we're not necessarily disagreeing with the issue. The root cause being that, like at least in America, there are have been issues at the border with undocumented entry. You're just saying that he's made it. He's kind of facilitated it because of his restrictions. More undocumented people are coming in. Is that right?
No, I mean, you said that you support him because he's good for the border. We agreed that the root cause of undocumented entry was slowed, neglected, and depraved legal means of
Yeah.
entry. And then we
Okay.
agree that Donald Trump has never even said that he wants to address that, meaning that Donald Trump has never even said that he wants to address the root cause of undocumented entry. And if we don't
Right.
address its root cause, then we'll never fix it in the long term. So, in other words,
Gotcha.
you've said that Donald Trump has never even done as much as said he wants to pass policy to fix undocumented entry into America in the long term. And he's never said that he
Right.
wants to fix / address the root cause. And in fact, the
Right.
one time in modern American history when our government has taken an approach to at least take a step in the right direction with the bipartisan border bill under the Biden Harris administration, which would have
Yeah.
hired more judges to run more courts at the southern border to expedite all legal claims of entry, Donald Trump
Hmm.
explicitly told the Republican congressmen and women to shoot it down so the
Yeah.
Democrats couldn't take a win. So how can you
Right.
say
Right.
this man is better for the border if he's never addressed the
Yeah.
root cause of undocumented entry?
So
He never intends
so
to, and he's actively fought against any progress.
yeah, that's a great point, right? That definitely is a great point in theory, right? Your idea is that like the other party, the under the Biden administration, they were gonna have judges that were going to essentially facilitate the process of making things legal for these undocumented immigrants, right? Well, the problems that were being the problems at the border were that was an immediate need, right? When you have someone saying, oh yeah, we have plans to bring things the legal way, like we have all these ideas of we're going to hire judges to make things legal, right? Then you have to somehow trust, right, that these people, the administration, are going to actually accomplish that objective. And the issue is a lot of people had distrust in the way that the Biden administration was like making things happen. Like there was an inability to get things done, even though their ideas
Let's play a
sounded
game.
great. Sure.
I think that
Huh?
they got more done than Donald Trump in his first and second term. I'm going to name something that Biden and Harris got done, and then you're going to name something that Trump has gotten done. Okay?
Okay.
And we'll
Sure.
go back and forth, and let's see who runs out first.
Like that got done. Like
Yeah,
did it
that they
that
got done.
worked?
And if I run out of things first, then your claim that they had an inability to get things done is true. If you run out first, then your claim that they had an inability to get things done is abundantly false. So I'll start with one thing they
Okay.
got done. They got the
Okay.
PACT
Sure.
Act done. That was an investment of $800 million into the
Sure.
expansion of VA healthcare benefits to service
Okay.
over 1 million new veterans that were not covered under VA healthcare for particular ailments or conditions prior. Your turn. What's something Trump has gotten done?
Well, initially, I think the wall.
No, he actually didn't get the wall done. He built less than
It was,
51 miles of it. And then the Biden Harris administration tried to build more than he did. And that's the bill that he told Republicans to shoot down.
What's
Try
interesting
again.
though is that if you were to go back, they were like severely against the wall, and then they end up building on it. That just seems like they're changing with what like the established, like Trump's ideas ended up, it initially were not a good idea, and then just complete like change of mind. They said, yeah, we're gonna add more to this wall when that was a huge point against Donald Trump. So I just think that that's initially just right off the bat a sign of their inability to actually come up with the solid plan without piggybacking off of Donald Trump. So,
What?
um,
Okay, you just have a complete, total lack of knowledge or know-how insofar as how Congress works. Because the reason why the wall was included in that bipartisan border bill is because the Democrats basically had to work with the Republicans in Congress. The Republicans in Congress said, well, in order for us to help you guys pass this bill, you're going to have to give us some things that we want. We want more of this wall. And because the Democrats, and particularly the Biden-Harris administration, was so good at swimming in Congress and getting shit done, they said, okay, we'll give you more of this wall if we get what we want for hiring more judges to expedite the legal means of entry. And then your pivot on this, your twist on this is to blame them for being so effective in working with the Republicans to get more done, that somehow that's a bad thing. That means they could get less done. You don't even know what you're saying. I feel like this is a purely rhetorical statement with no substance behind it. And at the end of the day, when we like add a little bit of critical thought on top of your claims here, what you're claiming is actually completely false.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, man. Like, I understand that the Biden administration did have a lot of plans for immigration, making things easier. But at the end of the day, like that, they weren't addressing certain issues, like the ginormous influx of illegal immigrants
Well,
coming
now
in.
you're pivoting away because you
Yeah,
just
so
no. Now you're pivoting. Why are
it's
you
not
pivoting?
necessarily a
Yes,
pivot
you are,
because what
because you
you
made
find,
the claim that their allowance to build more of the border wall somehow negatively reflected on their
well,
administration.
my
Adrian,
initial
thank you
claim,
so much for the signature, Jed. I really do appreciate you so much for that love, Adrian. And then you said their allowance for the border wall not only negatively reflected on their administration, but was an example of their inability to get things done. I then described to you how the opposite was true, and then you just completely ignored what I said and pivoted. So address what I just said. Your original claim was that their allowance of
yes.
more border wall construction under their first administration was a negative of their administration that showed them to be ineffective. I described how it only demonstrated them to be more effective because they were able to work with Republicans in Congress to get shit done. What is your response? As well as Adrian, thank you for the cool firework gift. You're awesome,
Well,
Adrian. Thank you so much.
initially I said that they were against Trump building the wall, and then they just built on top of it. And like that's all I'm saying. Like they
So,
were
but
initially against it, and then
you're
they built on
framing
top
that
of
in a
it.
negative light, saying that this is showing them to be hypocrites or whatever. But this isn't showing them to be hypocrites. It's showing them to be
Shows
malleable, and it shows an
inconsistency.
ability to work with the Republicans in Congress. That doesn't show inconsistency at all. It shows that they were willing to
The
work with the
whole
Republicans in
party,
Congress to get
the
shit
whole
done.
right, but the whole party was against building the wall in the first
And they
place
were
because
still against building the wall. And the fact that they wanted to build more was a concession to the Republicans to get shit done.
okay, so you're just saying they worked hand in hand with the Republicans to get it done, which I agree.
Absolutely.
But my issue
And
is that
explain
like
to me how that's a negative thing that we should frame in a bad light.
no, and what I'm trying to say is that the initiation of Trump is a positive to build the wall, right? Like which initially it was
No,
viewed as a
what you
negative.
said was that the fact that the Democrats in Congress were wanting to build more of it was a bad negative thing. I explained to
A
you how they made
negative
that
in a sense,
concession
a negative,
to Republicans to get shit done.
right,
So explain
right,
to me why bipartisanship to get shit done is a bad thing that the
right.
Democrats
That
did.
is not a bad thing. That is
Okay,
definitely
so
not a
then
bad thing.
concede. Earlier you said it was a bad thing.
No, what I'm saying is the bad thing is that the inconsistency where they're
How
basically
is making a concession to be
shutting
bipartisan
down Trump's
inconsistent?
shutting down initially, right? When Trump had the idea to build the wall, he got a lot of criticism for it. It was seen as a bad idea. Like generally, the Democrat Party thought it was a horrible idea, right? And then, as the effectiveness of the wall, right, which was initiated by Trump, was shown, it was effective. They end up working with the party, right, which is great, to then continue to build the wall, which is great.
This is all
But my
false. Everything that you just said was false. What evidence do you have that the 51 miles of wall that Trump built was effective? Because month by month border crossings under Donald Trump's first term went up every month he was in office until
yes,
COVID
right.
hit and they implemented Title 42.
So
What is your evidence that the 51 miles of wall that Trump built was effective?
I'm saying the initiation of a wall in general, the idea of building a wall was generally by the Democrat Party rejected to be even
You said that it
initiate
was
building a wall.
rejected, and then after it was shown to be effective, they wanted it. What is the
A-
evidence that that border wall was effective?
The idea of building a wall was eventually accepted and added upon.
Why are
That's
you,
and then
dude,
to
stop it.
make it
You
more
just said,
effective.
stop. You just said, no. We're going to roll back what you just said because this is
Let's
unreal.
roll it back, sure.
Rejected, and then after it was
Shown it was effective. The Democrat Party thought it was a horrible idea, right? And then, as the effectiveness of the wall, right, which was initiated by Trump, was shown, it was effective. They end up
You said in that clip that I just rolled back that the efficacy of the 51 miles of wall built in his first term was shown and the wall was effective. What is your evidence that that wall was effective?
The evidence is
Also,
that it was
Adrian, thank you so much for the love and Cat as well.
the
Show some love to Adrian and Cat
evidence.
down below.
Look, what if you're trying to say that the wall was like completely effective? I agree with you. Like it was not completely effective.
Cat, thank you for the specular show. I really appreciate you so much for the love, Cat. So then why did you say that it was effective? I'll roll it back again. I'll roll it
That
back
was a
again.
horrible idea, right? And then as the effectiveness of the wall, right, which was initiated by Trump, was shown, it was effective.
So which one is it? Is it effective or is it not effective?
The idea of building a wall is a good let me change my wording. The idea of building a wall is a good idea, right? And that's why it was added upon. So like tell me in your perspective,
No,
what is
you're still not answering my question. Was it effective or was it not effective?
Yes, it was effective in a sense where there was merit to his idea.
Okay, what is the evidence that that wall was effective?
If you're saying if you're trying to use data to like to on a closed wall, right? Like the wall hasn't been fully built, right? So you're arguing that the wall wasn't effective because there was an increase.
Hey,
Does
buddy.
that make sense?
Hey, buddy.
Bro, I feel like
the
you're
wall
not,
built by
I feel like
Trump in
you're
his
not
first
being
term was
fair.
effective. What is
I
your
feel like you're not
evidence that
being
the wall
fair.
built by Trump in his first term was effective?
Bro, I feel like you're intentionally not like trying to understand me.
I'm just asking you for the evidence for your claim. That is not outrageous. That is not disingenuous. That is not bad faith. That should be an expectation. You just reaffirmed for the third time that you believe the wall built by Trump in his first term was effective. What is the evidence to demonstrate its effectiveness?
What I'm trying to say, dude, is that
Shut up. I want your evidence that the wall was effective. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to let you talk. I'm not going to interrupt you. Give the evidence that the wall was effective. I don't want what I'm trying to say. I don't want. So what you're saying is that it's ineffective. I want the evidence of its efficacy. I won't interrupt you though. Take it away. Unmute yourself. Click on your profile picture, then click the icon of the microphone. That's how you unmute. There you go. I won't interrupt you. I apologize for interrupting you right there. I don't want what I'm trying to say. I don't want, so you think it was ineffective. I just want the evidence for your claim that it was effective.
So I guess in San Diego, there's a 12-mile stretch that saved $28 million. Okay. In Yuma, illegal entries dropped by 87%. In Rio Grande Valley, with the new barrier.
Now it's cutting out.
In El Paso, zones 14 and 15 saw a 60 to 81% reduction in border crossings. The CBP described it as an effective deterrent in targeted sectors.
Nope. So now he's still lagging.
The reality is that there were. Sorry, did you hear me? So I quoted the facts, at least in San Diego, Yuma, Rio Grande Valley.
Okay.
So how
many undocumented entries did it prevent?
Did it prevent, like in total?
Yeah.
Let's see here. So probably reduced. Like, do you want the number for it? Like,
yeah.
Well, I was just saying that it was effective in those areas. So, okay. Are you trying to make another point?
How many undocumented entries did it prevent in those areas?
Undocumented entries?
Yeah.
Okay, how many undocumented entries did it prevent?
That's the question I'm asking you.
Okay. Sorry, these are really important facts. Let's see here. It reported San Diego reduction. Let's see here. Probably around 50. So if it decreased 95%.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta kick you because you're lagging too bad, man. We seriously couldn't make out what you were saying for the last 45 seconds because the lag was too bad. If you happen to be in a spot with a better internet connection, feel free to re-request. That'd be great. But you were lagging as all hell.